Hey everybody, welcome back to the shack. So, you'll take notice that I have something unusual sitting here. It's not a Mac. Anybody who's known me for any amount of time knows that I'm not exactly 100% loyal to Apple products. Never have been. So, what we have here is a kind of oddball. This is a computer I've wanted for a very long time. This is an IBM Personal System 2, or PS2 as they're known, Model P70. This is a portable desktop machine. This is not a laptop. It is not run off of batteries. It is a straight up desktop replacement, or just total desktop machine. It's a 386 computer, runs 20 megahertz. It's a DX processor. This one has a couple upgrades in it that I'll go over here. I'll take the back cover off. PS2s are actually rather notorious for being easy to service. Unfortunately, the parts aren't as easy to find, but they're easy to service. So it has a standard IEC power plug here, and expansion ports are in here. So, and the other cool thing is this is also where your power cord sits. So it is totally, as long as you don't need anything else to go with you, you can take everything with you. It's just one big briefcase. Parallel port, serial port. This is a Apple guys who are into older PowerBooks will take notice that this looks pretty familiar. This is not a SCSI connector, unfortunately. It is for an external floppy drive. But we also have a PS2 mouse port, and for anybody who is new to any types of PCs, IBM is the one who invented the PS2, therefore they invented the PS2 keyboard and mouse. So, one of the only things to really come out of one of these machines is the standard for the keyboard and mouse. And it was a good standard. It's actually still a pretty good standard today. So, up here is a VGA port. This computer does have full VGA graphics. And there's actually two expansion slots right here, believe it or not. It's kind of hard to see. But here is there's a dual serial card here, and then this expansion slot is empty. And I'll show you the expansion slots. They're actually one of the crown jewels of the IBM PS2 line. So, and then this door here, you can leave it open or you can shut it. There's a little flap here so all your cables can run out. So, you can make a nice, neat system. So, something interesting is this computer is fairly local, actually. It was bought in Computerland of Lancaster, 12/14/1989, and I actually have the original sales receipt, invoice, and actual price quotes for this computer to the company who originally bought it. I have scans of them, and I will probably put them, I'll either put a link to them somewhere, or I may add them later on in the video. This is going to be a kind of long video, and this is just the introduction video. So, this computer is pretty much as I got it. I've not done any restoration work. This machine was already fairly clean. So, surprisingly, these things are usually pretty beat up. They're tough computers. So, what we're going to do is we're going to open her up with these two latches right here. And then, voila. Standard full-size 101 key keyboard. This is not a buckling spring. This is I think it's like an Alps type switch. It clicks, but it's not nearly as satisfying as a Model M would be. And then, as you see, this computer's a work in progress. Normally, right here is a floppy drive. The floppy drive has actually failed in this, and my friend Steve Matarazzo, Mac84, is actually going to recap it and repair it. He's had some success with repairing PS2 floppy drives. So I gave it to him. I met up with him in Allentown and gave it to him last weekend. And the jewel of the machine is the, I think it's either 9 or 10 inch, I'm not sure, I haven't measured it, gas plasma screen. So I'm actually going to move the camera here, and we're going to get a better close look at the screen here. So this is a gas plasma screen. If anybody's ever heard, if you've ever heard of a plasma television, this is the same concept, except it's basically not black and white, it's grayscale, more or less. It's hard to describe. It's orange scale. It's an orange or amber screen. But it does display 16 shades of orange. And it is actually VGA capable, so you can do anything a VGA screen can do, but only in 16 colors. So there is a actual VGA card in the computer. You'll see that here in a little bit. But the screen actually comes out, tilts. You can see my bald head in it. You know, so you can find a suitable angle. There is brightness control. And now we're going to turn it on, and you'll see exactly how crisp this screen is. And you have to remember, this is 1989. LCDs were still black and white, and they were absolutely horrible. And then you will find out exactly how long it takes a PS2 to boot. So it's not fast. Smoke them if you got them. So this is your typical IBM memory count here, and you can see my camera is actually picking up all the individual pixels on the screen. It's actually kind of cool, but you can see how crisp and clear the screen is, and you can see exactly how long it takes to count the memory up in the PS2. This computer has 8 megabytes of memory. It came with 4. It's been upgraded to 8. Almost there. There we go. Now we're going to get a bunch of errors on the screen. .601 is a floppy drive because the floppy drive is not there. 161 is time and date not set, and 163 is system options not set. So what it does is it actually boots into BASIC. IBM computers still did that. I think it was for compatibility more than anything. So, but there's the screen. And as you see, the computer does work. So we're doing pretty good so far. And like I said, you can adjust the brightness. It doesn't really have a lot of adjustment like you would think. So, but it does. It's hard to see. The camera's actually adjusting for me. It's a lot better in person. But you know, then you can put the screen back, and you have to be careful because the hinges on these things are delicate. So if any of you are getting one of these or have one of these and you're checking this video out, bear that in mind. So the keyboard is actually totally detachable. As you can see here, it's got a pretty decent sized cord. It's even got feet on it, so you can have it as a regular, regular keyboard. It doesn't have to be attached to the computer. So when you're done, you just flip this back up. It's got this nice little tray here, and then it just sits there and just folds up into the computer like so. And that's it. The computer weighs, I'd say, about between 12 and 15 pounds, maybe. I don't even think it's that heavy, to be honest with you. A compact portable from 1984 tipped the scales in at close to 30. So this is definitely, yes, it's a luggable, but it's a lot more manageable than, say, a compact portable of the time. And IBM didn't want to have a heavy portable. They wanted something that people would actually like to carry around or wouldn't mind carrying around. And the compact portable was not that. So now I'm gonna readjust the camera again. We're gonna crack the back open, and you're gonna see exactly how easy it is to actually get into this computer. So this is the back of the computer that I showed you here a few minutes ago. So, like I said, working on PS2s is pretty easy. There's a screw right here, and this one's already loose. Flathead screw. And IBM has this affinity for flathead screws. And actually, you'll notice there's IBM stamped right here. And then there's two screws here on the bottom of the computer. And they're also flatheads. And this whole back comes right off. Voila. Simple as that. And IBM even included instructions right on the cover on how to replace the SIMs. So you could upgrade the memory yourself. So, this is what we got. Right here, the heart of the machine, we have a 386 DX20 and a 387 DX20 math code processor. Now the math code processor was not standard. That was an option. So this was installed by Computerland for the original owner. Like I said, they were doing CAD work. And you're going to see some interesting modifications here. I did not do these. This was like this when I got it. Here we have 8 megabytes of memory. And every single SIM slot has a broken clip. So this computer can handle 16 megs of total memory. You can have 8 on the board, and then you can have 8 more in a microchannel slot. So down here we have the huge, massive 60 megabyte hard drive. Now, this is not a normal hard drive. This is a PS2 proprietary drive. Basically, the cable goes into a microchannel slot on the motherboard. The drive controller and drive electronics are all integrated to the bottom of the drive. It technically uses an ESDI interface, or basically an enhanced MFM, more or less, and it interfaces directly to the motherboard, and it gets power and everything right from the board. And the floppy drive is similar. And then here is one of the microchannel expansion slots. Now this is there's several different kinds of slots. I think there's 4 or 5. 4. This one has 2 of them. This has one 16-bit slot, which, because of the way the computer's designed, can only accommodate a small card. And then here is a 32-bit slot, which has a full-length card in it. Twist this around. So you see that this one here is longer. And we just pull this card out. I don't have it screwed in at the moment. Now this is actually only a 16-bit card. And this looks like a PCI card, but it's not. IBM invented this. This is their proprietary interface. So, and then this is a regular 32-bit slot. So this is used, you can use, there's various, I actually have a network card coming for this. It's a 32-bit network card. This is just a dual serial card. I'm not going to be using this. I'm probably going to just put this in the corner. But I have a network card coming for the 32-bit slot. And, but SCSI controllers, video cards not so much, but SCSI controllers, network cards, memory expansion cards for sure. the better ones, all use the 32-bit slot. And then down here, you'll notice what looks like another 16-bit microchannel slot, and it is. This is a third microchannel slot. This actually has 4 slots technically. So this has the video card. This is the video card right here, and it actually goes underneath this piece here and all the way over here to where the VGA connector is. So it's a standard 256K memory VGA video card. It's basically a more or less an 8514A, but it has a special connector here for the plasma screen in the front. So, and then there's some ROM chips here, and right here is the battery. And anybody who's replacing batteries can use these Panasonic CRP2s to replace the original Panasonic battery. The original Panasonic battery is a BRP2. So they are still readily available. I just bought a bunch of them off of Amazon for next to nothing. I think it was like $12 for 4 of them shipped with Prime. So pretty awesome. So the battery goes here. It's a 6-volt lithium battery. I've never seen one leak. So I think that, you know, unlike Apple computers, these are pretty safe from that kind of a damage. And truthfully, like, there's very few like capacitors on this system that would really fail. So, you know, in terms of like capacitor problems, I would say next to none. So we're going to reinstall the serial card here, and it just slots in here just like that. And then there's a thumb screw here you twist to hold the card in. Like I said, IBM made it very easy to work on, very easy to upgrade. You know, unlike Apple, they didn't mind their customers working on their computers. It was actually kind of expected. So, but that's an introduction to the IBM P70. So, I'm going to do a series of videos on this machine. I had the floppy drive being worked on. The hard drive is presently sort of unknown. It spins up and it initializes, but I don't know if it's actually working. Because in order to get into the setup program, I need a floppy disk to run the reference disk. So, I'm not sure if the hard drive. I think the hard drive probably does work. Usually, as long as they're spinning, they're usually pretty reliable. So that's the conclusion of this video. Stay tuned. We're going to get the floppy drive back from Steve at Mac84. If you don't subscribe to him, you need to do so. His YouTube is Mac84. He's also on Facebook and Twitter. As am I. Visit Mike's Mac Shack. I promise I've got more stuff coming soon. Thanks to Steve. He's really helped me out trying to get some of my projects moving forward. So, you've got to subscribe to him. Remember, visit the guys on Mac Yak every Thursday night, 9 o'clock on YouTube. I haven't been terribly active lately, but hopefully with things changing here, that'll change and I'll be back. Thanks for watching. Comment below. And if you have any IBM PS2 questions, leave them in the comments. Send me a message on Facebook or Twitter, and I will be more than happy to answer them. I've been working on these things for 25 years, so there's not really much I don't know about them. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.